name is Laura, and I'm a member of All Saints Church in Milan. We have been reading a series called The Noisy Stable. I'm here today to read part 10. Now, the last time I read to you, I was on part 2, and so much has happened since then. I read the story about Mary and Elizabeth and how they had had angels visiting them to tell them they were going to have babies. Well, since then, both of them have had their babies. Mary and Joseph had to leave their town, and there's been some shepherds come to visit. In the last part of the story, Mabel told us all about some star watchers that were looking for the baby. So, this part of the story continues from there and is called Gifts for a King. When the star watchers arrived in Bethlehem, the star was already there waiting for them. But it was no longer zooming. Instead, it crept along slowly, leading them through the narrow streets of the town. And then, suddenly, it stopped and hovered silently over a very ordinary-looking house. "This must be the place," said the first star watcher. "Doesn't look like a palace," said the second. "Well, we shall have to go in and see," said the third. And he knocked on the door politely. An ordinary-looking man opened the door. A man as ordinary as the house. "We're very sorry," said the first star watcher. "We must have the wrong place." "Forgive us for troubling you," said the second. "But the star," whispered the third star watcher to the others. "The star is right overhead." And then he turned to the man. "We're looking for a king, the newborn king of the Jews. I don't suppose you have a baby, do you?" And with that, the ordinary-looking man smiled. A secret smile. A knowing smile. For that man was Joseph. "As a matter of fact, we do," he said. "Little Jesus is almost a year old now, but I think he's the one you're looking for." The star watchers filed into the house. The child was sitting on his mother's lap, playing with her fingers. And as soon as they saw him, they knew they were in the right place. One by one, the star watchers fell to their knees before him. Then they gave him presents. Presents they had each brought all the way from the east. But they weren't the kind of presents that most people give to babies. No rattles, no building blocks, no soft toys. No, they were presents fit for a king. There was bright, shiny gold. There was a rich perfume called myrrh. And there was a sweet-smelling oil in a jar called frankincense. The baby patted the gold and patted the jar, but when he very nearly tipped over the bottle of perfume, his mother gently took his hand. "Thank you," she said to the star watchers. "It was very kind of you to come." And so the star watchers stood and bowed and said their goodbyes. It was too late to return to Jerusalem, so they set up their tents just on the outskirts of the town. But as they were asleep, each of the star watchers had a dream. There was a visitor, bright, shiny and gold, that busy angel Gabriel perhaps, and the visitor had a message. "King Herod wants to kill the child," the message warned them. You must not return to him. Go back to your homes instead. Go quickly, and you will save the child's life. So the Star Watchers got up at once. They folded up their tents, they loaded up their camels, and, rubbing the sleep from their eyes, they started for home. The stars were twinkle twinkling in the sky like gold to light their way. And that's where my part of the story ends. Before I go, there was just one bit of the story I want you to have a think about. It said, just here, as the Star Watchers filed into the house, they knew they were in the right place. I wonder, how did they know they were in the right place? What do you think was in there that made them think they were there? I really haven't got any ideas. I don't know what I would expect to walk into a room to see the baby Jesus. So I wonder what they saw that made them think that they were in the right place. I'll leave you with that. And I look forward myself to looking at the next video, which will be our last part of this story. So have a lovely end of your Advent and a really good Christmas, and also a great Epiphany, which is the festival that celebrates the Star Watchers, or the kings, or the 3 wise men, their arrival to Jesus. Bye-bye.